Hello, I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer. Welcome to my channel, list of essential oils and their uses. I wanted to give you a reading today, Taurus, using my cards, the Tongue of the Trees cards. And they're designed to bypass the conscious mind and talk to the unconscious mind and help you traverse many of life's challenges, including those that are thrown at you by the universe. So, we do a Ring of the Trees reading, which is one of the ways that I look at what's going on astrologically. We use 13 cards. So let me show you your 13 cards. So number one that comes out, beautiful. Positivity of orange. Gorgeous. You've got the Saturn goes retrograde this month, and so it's hard to feel positive in those times. So this is great. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you 13 cards and I'm going to turn it round so you can see the layout. But oh my goodness, what a beautiful aromatic blend. Orange, your second card is Cinnamon of Trust. This is nice. This is nice. What's coming next? Oh my goodness. We are in the season of the rose, definitely July season. It's beautiful to see this coming out for you, Taurus, and how we're going to use that medicine to help you through these next few months. That's your third card. Your fourth card then, consciousness. Always fascinates me here when this comes out because the cards are designed to bypass the consciousness, but Pettigran says no. No, I have things I want you to do, to be determined about, to focus on diligently. So what are they, I wonder? Let's have a look. So that's your fourth card. Your fifth card is gorgeous, soothing German chamomile. The chamomile always talk to me and say, "Okay, Sarah, Sarah, whatever will be, will be." Gorgeous that that's in, especially for you, Taurians, the few Taurians in my family. You can be a little stubborn. So, nice to say, let go a little bit. But, one of my best friends, Sweet Basil. Aries, Mars medicine of the warrior. And she's like a sergeant major shouting, "Get out of your head." Stop thinking about it, do it. So let's have lay that down and then we'll see how that plays out in your reading. This is a really interesting set of cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, number 7 card. Oh my goodness. Jasmine, the intensity of the moment. Absolutely cannot be any worries where there is jasmine. That's what Sanskrit say. Where there is jasmine, there can be no worries. How lovely that's coming out for you. You're getting all the flowers. Beautiful. Neroli, the key word is observation, but actually she's about losing your anxiety and manifesting what the future holds. And I'll tell you more about her in a moment. What a gorgeous, gorgeous oil she is. And then, oh, you got all my friends. You have Clary Sage. Now, the key word is clairvoyance. And yes, she is about psychic abilities, but she's about seeing how things actually are, not how you're being persuaded they are, whether that's through hormones or whatever. But we'll talk a little bit more about her in a minute. Juniper. That's one that hasn't come out for a while. Purification. I'm interested to know why that's come out for you. I'm looking forward to doing this reading. Lovely, lovely oil. Nearly at the end now. Turmeric. Relief. Time to sit back. Stop pushing so hard. Beautiful turmeric. You know, such a valuable, these are all medicinal plants, obviously. That's the whole point of them being aromatic oils that I use in my practice. But turmeric in particular is a super, super oil. You know, it really guards against so many diseases like cancer, arthritis, rheumatism, and it all comes through this beautiful keyword, relief, and the psychic medicine, the emotional and mental medicine that it pervades like another root. Ginger, that warming impetus to say, come on, let's add a bit of spice and sparkle, let's move forward. I can see quite what might be going on in your reading. Interesting. And then we have the inspiration of laurel. It's come out a couple of times at the moment. It's not an oil that I use very often, and yet for you and actually the Taurians it came out, and the Arians came out. So let's do a count. I think that was your final card. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. Your outcome is inspiration. That's so nice. Okay, so before I go, let me tell you a little bit about the cards, and then I'll turn the camera around and I'll do the reading for you. So these cards were created by myself. I am a clinical aromatherapist, professional aromatherapist with over 25 years professional experience. I'm also the UK director for the National Association of Holistic Aromatherapists, and I am a medical astrologer. So these were created in collaboration with a Hungarian aromatherapist called Gergely Halodi. He and I have our own channel, Tongue of the Trees, where we talk about the medicinal and the emotional properties of the essential oils. Here, I'm going to go a little bit more into the astrological side. What's going to happen for you over the next month, and how can we make blends of essential oils to help us be able to navigate that? So let's turn the camera around and have a look at your blend. Hi Taurus. Well, I have to tell you how envious I am of this reading. I wish these were my cards. Absolutely beautiful. And it's interesting, normally you can see the story playing out over a period of cards. So because it's the Ring of the Trees cards, so this is number 1 where we come in. We go 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13. But with yours, rather than it unfolding as a story, it's easier to look at it from the point of view of what what's happening with the astrology. So there's sort of 4 main themes, I think, carrying on. The first is we come into the month with Mercury in retrograde, obviously, and it goes direct into your 3rd house of Leo. So the first thing we all know about Mercury retrograde, we don't sign contracts. We watch out for computers breaking, communication breaking down generally. But everything about your reading says the communication that you're having is far more important on an emotional level than on a words level, if that makes sense, and even more so on a spiritual level. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But the next big thing that happens to Taurus is, of course, Saturn goes retrograde into Capricorn, which is your 9th house. Now, the 9th house is ruled by Jupiter, and Laurel is your outcome card, and it is also ruled by Jupiter. And whilst Jupiter is about authority, it's also about travel, philosophy and education, the higher mind, you know, and learning new languages, global business, all looking up to the future and looking upwards to a higher ordeal, if you like. It's beautiful, beautiful stuff. And for Laurel to come out, that not only says Jupiter, but it also says winner. Absolutely winner. And so we're interested to see how we get to that point, and it's very clear to me looking at the cards that that comes through spiritual quest for you. Very quickly though, there's also a lunar eclipse this month, and again that's in the 9th house, same for you. So lots of 9th house going on, and a little bit of 3rd house. But I think what's interesting is the sun this month goes into your house of home, and if you look at all the pink we can see, we've got all these beautiful Venus cards, all the flowers, the rose, neroli. these are ruled by Venus, and of course Venus is exalted in your sign. And so with this, you know, all this emphasis on your home, I think there's going to be a lot of thought about decorating and making it beautiful. And of course, as Taurians, that's what you do best. You understand materialism from the most beautiful angle. And it's interesting, I've picked all of these flowers. So I've got my beautiful roses, put them in there for the minute. And a rose geranium, didn't come up in your reading, but also ruled by Venus. And, you know, Venus adores this kind of behaviour of, you know, worshipping the goddess, whether she be Aphrodite, whether she be Venus, whether she be Isis. She's the queen of heaven, you know. And so from a Catholic point of view, from a Christian point of view, we're also thinking about, obviously, the Virgin Mary, also the queen of heaven. And this is where your emphasis is this month, in your decoration of saying, right, okay, I want to celebrate this beautiful, beautiful energy. And it's important to do, because not only does it rule love and but also wealth and luxury and all those things that you absolutely love, you know, the chocolates and champagne, all of that comes through exaltation of Venus. So let me kind of see if I can read now from that point, because we come in on a really positive note. And considering that Mercury is retrograde at the moment, that says to me that hasn't bothered you in the slightest. But something really positive is about to come, and it will make you start to really worry that you've got to rush. So perhaps, you know, Mercury retrograde makes me think of contracts. So for example, maybe you've got a new job and you get the job offer, because that's what happens in retrograde. It goes back to the beginning. Or you've looked over, re-looked over a piece of work and you're really happy with it. And you kind of just want to go right ahead and just resubmit it again. That's my trick. As soon as I finish a piece of work, I want to just get it out there. And perhaps you are not dotting the I's and crossing the T's. We really don't want to send that contract in if we can help it. And Cinnamon says, no, we are going to wait. And it's going to feel like a massive risk. Everything feels like you are riding the whitewater rapids when you are working with Cinnamon. But it makes you brave enough to be able to do it. So you're going to feel like, they're gonna turn their back on me if I don't sign it, or something like that. And if you feel that you need to calm down and start to feel a bit braver about this decision, then sitting with a bit of cinnamon for a while is great. And when we're working with the oils this way, I'll put some recipes up at the end, but we don't need to be putting them on the skin or putting them in the bath. Just simply thinking about, right, that is the feeling that I want to invoke in myself. We sit with the bottle of the oil or the spice and we breathe it in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4, in for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, hold for 4. And just really get involved in the breathing slowly and taking the spice into the brain so that it can affect the limbic system. And we do that for about 5 minutes. So as you're going through, and if there's things that you think, all right, I understand what she's saying, I recognise that feeling, I can feel that coming up, right, I know which essential oil that I need to go for to do that. So in terms of, right, things feel like a massive risk, somebody's pushing me to sign that contract, bear in mind, things that are signed in Mercury, okay, they're not going to fall apart straight away, but they are transient, you know, they don't last very long. So, I mean, I've signed a contract before now in the Mercury retrograde, and I was very worried about doing it. And I had this lovely job, and it didn't fall apart badly, but it was only short term. Something else happened in my life that meant that I did not need to stay there very long. I really liked the job, but I wasn't there for long. And I do think it was the whole thing of signing in the retrograde. So if you want something to be longer term and permanent, use the cinnamon to help you to just feel a bit calmer. Now, strange jump from cinnamon to rose, because this is about trust, and this is actually about feeling trusted. You know, the whole thing of you go into a relationship and you're not sure whether you can trust the person. You know, the heart has become closed, and learning to love is as much about learning to trust as anything else. But in this context, I think, you know, we definitely can see love stuff coming, but I think in the context of its reading, it's about understanding Venus as a whole goddess. Everything that she does, that she is the goddess of love, of procreation and wealth and war, and being able to understand that you can use these oils to be able to affect change. You've got quite a few. For example, sweet basil is ruled by Mars, so it doesn't always mean war. In that case, it means power and motivation, but it's an important distinction to understand that Venus tempers Mars, and likewise Mars tempers Venus. So when we're getting it's a bit sickly sweet and we're floating off on the rose petals, then basil's a reality check really, and says, come on, we've got to do something. But she's passive, you know, she is yin, completely yin. So we can really float on. Remember I said that Venus was going into your sign, into the sign of your home. So really get into this feeling of enjoying decorating and the beauty of it. 12th house. Mars is in your 12th house this month, all month. And the 12th house is about dreams and things that have no form, dreams, emotions, thoughts, things that are ephemeral, you know. So it's really important to make sure that you've got an outlet for these things, because Mars in that area means explosions, you know, anger, not so much resentment, that would be more Saturn, but jealousy. And having an outlet for all of these things is really, really helpful. And essential oils are tremendous outlets. And bear in mind, and I'm not going to say essential oils are in plants because that's wrong. Secondary metabolites are in plants. That's a different lesson. But if you've got, this is my beautiful rose geranium, sitting with that is so fragranced. I can release the fragrance from the leaves just by rubbing it. Same applies for the rose petals. If you haven't got the oils around you, it doesn't matter. Look for the fragrances in the garden and look for things that make you feel that they bring beauty to your life, you know. All of that to warm the heart. And that's a real... Remember what I said, that Venus tempers Mars. You've got this Mars thing going on all month in the 12th house, hidden and simmering underneath the surface. It's like you're a pot ready to explode, really, and it's bubbling, bubbling, bubbling. And there's not much heat here. You've got a little bit of cinnamon, but most is cooling, relief of turmeric, intensity of jasmine. Jasmine is so cooling. Neroli is cooling. Oh, you have got some ginger there, but most of it is saying just calm everything down by looking at the beauty of stuff. And I had a similar transit last month actually, and it was just gorgeous going around the garden and experiencing, thinking, right, what can I learn from this fragrance? What can I find my way around the architecture of the blend of what do I know about the plant, and how beautiful are its leaves and its petals, and what can I see in there? And this whole thing here looks to me like that is the antidote to what's bubbling beneath the surface. All of that kind of says the same thing, really. So we've got positivity, trust, love, consciousness. This is about, it's a funny card, really. I probably said this when I drew it out. In a time where we're using a set of cards that are to bypass the conscious mind, this one says, no, I have things to teach you in the conscious mind. Let me grab my book. She says, you're a prisoner of your thoughts and web of imagination for ideas. Who knows what counts or should be sifted through filtration? My gift to you is choice, decision and vigour to turn thoughts into concrete things and make your world feel bigger. Just imagine what that could mean. Prosperity, health and love, all yours at the tips of your fingers, no longer out of reach. Breathe me, fragrance of manifestation. Notice the orange scent in my twigs, how I poured that neroli blossom when I manifested into fruit. I make things happen deliberately, with intent. Breathe me in and focus. Together, let's create. Now look at that across there. Leaves, fruit, blossom, fruit. There it is. All of the oranges. Have you met my friend? He came off the rose. All of that came off the orange, and orange is just positivity and turning thoughts into concrete things. So imagine that you are the supplicant who goes to worship at the temple in the old days of the sacred feminine, and you go there and you manifest all of those things. That worship for Venus brings all that beauty into your life. So that might be beautifying the house, it might be filling the house with flowers, it might be making beautiful food. All of those things that you love does nothing but attracts more. Over and over again, it just brings things back manifold to you. And Jasmine always says, where there is jasmine, there can be no worries. You know, you're just getting completely absorbed into the process of this, and you don't even notice anything else that's going on. It distracts you from this simmering pot of Mars in the 12th house. And Pettigrew is ruled by Virgo, and Virgo is the system. You know, it's about deliberate intent, the habits that you form. So each day, whether you decide, right, I'm going to get up and give thanks, or I'm going to put flowers in, or I'm going to go and do some exercise, or make sure I've put my makeup on. It's about the habits that you create that make your life more beautiful for you, but also for the energies that carry on around you too. Now this is an interesting one because this hardly fits in the reading at all. So let's have a look. Jupiter, purification. It says, I want to get rid of those painful feelings from the past. I know you think they've gone, hidden from your humdrum thoughts, but be truthful, eh? Did you deal with them? I don't think so, no. Let's lift that rug and see just how much you swept under there. Let's together carve out a sacred space. And then view these pains again. We'll open the door and let in juniper fresh air. Breathe out, release them, and feel the sensation of truly breathing free. So even though it's right out there, completely different to the rest of the reading, that too is saying sacred space. And this is a nice one because I think this is very much talking to this Venus tempers Mars. See how wet that's getting off my roses? It's due. 1 second. So my notes, my poem for the turmeric says, placidly you've searched long and hard. You know what you want, but you just can't find it. I know. I can feel how your stomach is churning and how your heart has tied itself in knots. Others might have quit by now, but you're diligent, I can see. Maybe you've pushed a bit too far. Perhaps you've raced too hard. Your body seems to be ailing and I sense your spirit start to wane. I think you need to relax a bit and settle into the flow. The universe can't keep up. You're moving faster than it can go. Excuse me. Slow down and hear the dance. The cosmos wants to beat. It's wrong. Slow down and hear the beat. The cosmos wants to dance. Find patience in my heat and let my sunshine give you reassurance. And again, this is Mars. ruled by Mars. So normally a Mars medicine would be pushing, pushing, pushing. But again, we've got this push me, pull you across the universe, where it's saying actually relax, relax into it. It's beautiful. So even though it's ruled by Mars, it's definitely got, whoops, a Venus feeling to it. And just here, ginger is warmth and impetus, and don't procrastinate. The whole thing says enjoy every single second of just loving beauty, getting right into it, work it like a system. And remember, we're talking about the 9th house. The 9th house is philosophy. See it as almost like a religion, to bring that beauty, that sacred feminine into your home right now, into your life, and every action that you take, make it habitual. What am I doing to salute the sacred feminine, and as myself, that feminine part of me? Because of course, majority of us women, but not all of us will be women, and there is a sacred feminine just as there is a sacred masculine in all of us. What am I doing to work towards that beautiful, passive, receptive, creative, fertile part of me? Just lovely. I am so in awe of this lovely reading. I'm very, very jealous. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put up some recipes to help you work out which oils to use. But if I say to you, the power cards in here will be the prime numbers. So 3, 7, 11 and 13. So 1, 2, 3. There's your rose. Queen of Heaven. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also 8, 9, 10, 11. There is the most beautiful, beautiful blend. Enjoy. So I will leave you with that and some more recipes besides. So I hope you found that useful. They're very weird, these cards. When I designed them, and Gergely asked me to write the translations to his to his Hungarian poems, I had to listen to the plants all over again, and to hear them speak to me was very strange and stressful, and I didn't like it, and I didn't think they'd be good. When I got them in my hands and started to work with them, I found them extraordinary. And I hope that you do too. Now, obviously, if you are not a regular follower of my channel because you're not an aromatherapist, like and subscribe now, and comment and share, please. Also, in the description, you will find how to buy the Tongue of the Trees cards, but also how to buy the knowledge base. And remember that they are separate. The cards are available from Fragrant Earth in Glastonbury, and soon will be available from Amazon. So just keep watching, because as soon as they are, you'll get a link in the link below, and that's Amazon UK just at the moment. The knowledge base is a digital platform, and so the second that you pay me £45, I can send it down to you, and there is over 40 different videos in there looking at all aspects of the oil. Also, make sure that you check out my books. If you're a beginner to essential oils, look at download my free book from Amazon, The Complete Guide to Clinical Aromatherapy and the Essential Oils of the Physical Body. Snappy title. I've regretted it ever since I did it. But also, if you are a beginner to essential oils and you're starting to really enjoy them, but you're not confident, perhaps also look for the recipe hub that goes with the Tongue of the Trees. Totally unrelated to any of the readings that we've done, but it's using the cards to make recipes. There's just around about 200 recipes in there. How to make treatments for body lotions, for shampoos, for anything you can think of, from bronchitis to, I can't think of something from beginning with Z, sunburn, right the way across. So yeah, have a look, go and have a look at my website. And incidentally, if you would like me to do your own personal reading, if you have a look on my website, thesecrethealer.co.uk, there is a link for consultations book an hour-long personal consultation, and yeah, I'll do your own reading. For now, thank you for being generous and all the nice things that you've said, and I look forward to doing your August readings.
There will be comments, and if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Dad, right? And then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.